Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about monobactums. So monobactam is one of the important class or one of the important topic from unit 1. So let's see what is monobactam antibiotics. So in this lecture we'll discuss what is monobactam antibiotics, then what is the exact nucleus present in the monobactam antibiotics, then different drugs under this class, their structure, mechanism of action for the monobactam antibiotics, then spectrum of activity, their clinical use and adverse effect. So these are the very important point that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So monobactam antibiotic having the nucleus which made up of monocyclic beta lactam ring. So fermentation of usual microorganisms lead to the discovery of a class of monocyclic beta lactam antibiotics. So as the name suggests, that is monobactam means what? It is a monocyclic ring and mainly it is a monocyclic beta lactam ring. There is no any other ring fused with or it is available in the fusion form or attached to the beta lactam ring. So as you can see, penicillin and cephalosporin having the bicyclic ring or tetracycline containing rings, mainly it contains 4 rings attached to each other. Okay, so the main difference with monobactam and penicillin or cephalosporin is monobactam is the antibiotic that containing beta lactam ring and it is monocyclic beta lactam ring. As comparison with other antibiotic, for example with penicillin, this also contains beta lactam ring, but there is a fusion of beta lactam ring with 5-member thiazolidine ring. Then in cephalosporin there is a fusion of beta lactam ring with hydrothiazine ring, which is a 6-member ring. So penicillin and cephalosporin both are bicyclic antibiotic, bicyclic beta lactam antibiotics. So this is a major difference between monobactam and the penicillin and cephalosporin. That is, it is a monocyclic ring, mainly it is a monocyclic beta lactam antibiotic. So general structure of monobactam or the nucleus, you can see it is a monobactam, mainly there is a presence of beta lactam ring, and in this structure or in the nucleus of the monobactam, the beta lactam ring is not fused with another ring. Then beta lactam ring is essential for antibacterial activity. Okay, whatever antibacterial activity is there to the monobactam is due to the presence of this beta lactam ring in their structure, and it has a potent activity against aerobic gram negative bacteria. Okay, there are different bacteria. For example, there is a gram positive bacteria, then gram negative bacteria, then some are aerobic bacteria, some are anaerobic bacteria. So mainly the activity of monobactam is towards the aerobic gram negative bacteria. So in multiple choice question they may ask whether they are active against gram positive or gram negative, aerobic or anaerobic. So keep it in mind that they are active against aerobic gram negative bacteria. So it is active against gram negative bacteria and other resistant strains or other bacteria, for example Neisseria and Pseudomonas, and it is stable in presence of beta lactamase enzyme. So bacteria produces beta lactamase enzyme to protect themselves from the drug, to protect from other drugs. Mainly microorganism produces the beta lactamase enzyme, but that monobactam antibiotics are stable in presence of beta lactamase enzyme. This is a very important point, and it is a monocyclic beta lactam ring. Then the examples of the monobactam antibiotics, that is aztreonam, and it is commercially available monobactam antibiotic. So as compared to other drugs from this class, that is monobactam antibiotics, aztreonam is very important drug and it is commercially available in the market also. Okay, so there are another example or some other examples of the monobactam which are not that much of important as compared to Estriona, but the examples like nocardicin A, taptoxin and tigemonam is also important drug which having the antibacterial activity. Okay, so first important drug from this class is Estrionam, then nocardicin A, taptoxin and tigemonam. So it is totally synthetic parenteral antibiotic. This is important that it is a synthetic derivative and it is parenteral. So mainly the route of administration is parenteral route, whose antimicrobial spectrum is devoted almost exclusively to gram negative microorganism. So they are active against gram negative microorganism. Then its molecular mode of action is closely similar to that of the penicillin, cephalosporin and carbapenems. This is also important point. Whenever you are going to write the mechanism of action, keep it in mind that the mechanism of action or mode of action for Estrionam, for monobactam, is closely similar to that of the penicillin and cephalosporin. And that mechanism of action or the antibacterial activity of the monobactam is due to their strong affinity towards PBP, that is protein binding protein. Okay, so keep it in mind that having the higher affinity towards the protein binding protein and producing the filamentous cells as an consequences. So they are active against gram negative bacilla and is almost indicated for the adjunctive theory to surgery in the management of infections caused by susceptible organisms including abscesses, then infections complicating hollow, viscous, perforations, cutaneous infections and infections of serious substance. Okay, so this is an indication for Estriona. So mainly it is used in the adjunctive therapy. Okay, to the surgery in the management of infections. So if the infection is caused by different bacteria, mainly it is gram negative bacteria, then this Estrionam drug is prescribed. Then spectrum of activity. As you know, some drugs are narrow spectrum, some having the broad spectrum activity. Okay, so Estrionam having the limited to aerobic gram negative rod. Okay, then excellent activity against enterobacteriaceae. Okay, so this is a important point. Okay, that it active against gram negative microorganisms and excellent activity against enterobacteriaceae. Also having the excellent activity against Pseudomonas aeruginosa and no activity against gram positive bacteria or anaerobes. So as comparison with aerobes and anaerobes, that Estrionam or monobactams does not having any activity towards the anaerobes. It only active against aerobes. Okay, and mainly gram negative bacteria. If there is a gram positive infection due to the gram positive bacteria, then the antibiotic will not produce any action. Then narrow spectrum prequels its use in the empiric therapy. Then related to the protein binding, then the excretion, route of administration, then clinical use. Okay, this slide is very important. So the protein binding is moderate, near about 50%. Approximately it's 50%, and the drug is nearly unchanged by the metabolism. This is the important point. Then Estrionam is given by injection. Okay, as the protein binding is moderate and it is given by the injection. So mainly if there is a question, what is the route of administration for Estrionam? So keep it in mind, it is given by injection, with mainly the route of administration is a parenteral route. And related to the excretion of the Estrionam, it is primarily excreted in the urine. Okay. Now the primary clinical use of Estrionam is against severe infections, that infection which are caused by the gram negative microorganisms, especially those acquired in the hospital. Okay, so mainly if there is a question, write down the information about estrione related to their protein binding, then it is 50%. Then it is nearly unchanged by the metabolism. Injection or the route of administration is a parenteral route. Excretion is done by the urine. And the primarily clinical use of the estrionam is against the severe infections, and that severe infection which are caused by the gram negative microorganisms. Also, they are used in injective theory, just now we have seen, and these are the mainly urinary tract infection, then upper respiratory tract infection, bone, cartilage, abdominal, obstetric, okay, and gynecological infections and septicemiasis. Okay, so the drug is well tolerated and adverse effects are infrequent. This is an important point related to the estrionam. There is a question, explain the mechanism of action of monobactam. So in that you have to explain due to the affinity towards the protein binding protein, and what is the indication or what is the main use or in which treatment estrionam is prescribed. At a time you have to explain these infections, and mainly the infections that are caused by the gram negative microorganism. So this is the structure of the estrionam. The 4-member ring at the bottom is the beta lactam. So you can see that's the presence of 4-member ring, and that 4-member ring is very important for the antibacterial activity. Then there is the presence of one more ring which is the thiazole ring. You can see 5-member ring, and that 5-member ring is nothing but thiazole ring. Sulfur, thia stands for sulfur, and the aza stands for nitrogen. So it is a thiazole ring. That thiazole ring having the substitution of amino group. Okay, so while writing the chemistry of the estrionam, you have to write that there is a second thiazole ring is present. As we have seen, it is a monobactam beta lactam ring. So there is no any other ring is present in fusion with beta lactam, but there is a presence of thiazole ring in the structure, but it is not fused to the beta lactam ring. Okay, this is an important point about the estrionam structure. As a nomenclature point of view, it is a 2. At second position there is a substitution of 1 in bracket 2 amino 1,3-thiazole 4YL. You can see there is a presence of thiazole ring. The thia and aza groups are present at first and third position. So it is a 1,3-thiazole. Substitution of ring is done at fourth position. So it is a 4YL. And at second position there is a presence of amino functional group. So 2 amino 1,3-thiazole 4YL is a substitution which is present at the first position. There are 2 carbon containing chain. Okay, we have to give the numbering 1 and 2. So at first position there is a presence of substitution of 2 amino 1,3-thiazole 4YL ring. Then at second position there is another substitution. You can see 2 methoxy 4 oxo 1 sulfo azitidine 3YL. So at second position you can see oxoethylidene ring is present. Okay, and then there is a ring which is a 4-member ring, and that 4-member ring is known as an beta lactam ring. That beta lactam ring is a general name of that ring, but as an IUPAC nomenclature it is azitidine ring as per the nomenclature rules for the heterocycles. So in that rule you can find the rule that 4-member ring containing 3 carbon and 1 nitrogen, then it is azitidine without any double bond. So it is azitidine ring, and there is a presence of SO3 group. So it is a sulfoazitidine, and to that sulfoazitidine ring the substitution is carried out. Substitution is done at third position. So it is a 3YL. Then on that beta lactam ring or azitidine ring there is a presence of methyl substitution at second position. So it is 2 methyl 4 oxo 1. There is a presence of sulfo SO3 group at first position. So 1 sulfo azitidine, and substitution is done at third position. So it is a 3YL, and whole beta lactam ring attached to the nitrogen. So 3YL attached to amino group. So 3YL bracket complete amino then that complete bracket is attached to the 2-oxoethylidene. So whatever we have seen, it contains 2 carbon containing chain. Okay, so on the second number there is one more substitution is there of the ketone functional group, that is C double bond O. So it is a 2-oxoethylidene, and that complete structure attached to the amino group. Okay, then bracket complete. And next is that complete structure attached to the oxygen. So oxy, then 2-methyl propanoic acid. There is a presence of chain which contains 3 carbon atoms. So it is a propane. To that propane there is a presence of functional group, it is a carboxylic acid. So it is a propanoic acid. And to that propanoic acid there is a presence of substitution of methyl group at second position. So you have to give the number from carboxylic acid. That carbon will have the first number, then second, then third. And to that second position there is a presence of substitution of methyl group. So it is a 2-methyl propanoic acid. So you can see whatever methyl group is present in the substitution at second position, and the chain made up of 3 carbon atoms. So it is a propanoic acid attached to the oxygen. So oxy 2-methyl propanoic acid. So this is a nomenclature for aztreonam. For the treatment of the following infection caused by the susceptible gram-negative microorganism, aztreonam drug is prescribed. That is urinary tract infection, then lower respiratory tract infection, then septicemia, then different skin infection, then intra-abdominal infections and gynecological infections. So for 2 marks they will ask what is the therapeutic use or what is the indication of aztreonam, which is a monobactam antibiotic. So this is a main indication of the aztreonam. So this is marketed formulation for the aztreonam, that is aztreonam for injection USP. Okay, so you can see it is available in the parenteral injection form. So pharmacodynamic parameters, aztreonam exhibits potent and specific activity in vitro against a wide spectrum of gram-negative aerobic pathogens including Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, so specifically if there is a question on the species, what is the species against which the aztreonam is active, then you have to write that aztreonam is active against gram-negative aerobic pathogens including Pseudomonas aeruginosa. It has no useful activity against gram-positive bacteria, as just now we have seen, or anaerobes. Okay, there is no activity against anaerobes but has wide broad spectrum activity against negative aerobes including Pseudomonas aeruginosa. So that Pseudomonas aeruginosa is mainly gram-negative microorganisms and it is a aerobes. So as comparison of what is aerobes, what is anaerobes, okay, you must know about the difference between both the microorganisms. So mainly it is active against aerobes, that is gram-negative bacteria, and mainly the examples including Pseudomonas aeruginosa. So this has given in the nickname the magic bullet for aerobic gram-negative bacteria, as it having the activity against the gram-negative bacteria and they can kill the aerobic gram-negative bacteria, and it is a bactericidal in action. It having the bactericidal activity, that's why the nickname is given or nickname has been given, that is the magic bullet for aerobic gram-negative bacteria. So in multiple choice question they may ask, give the example of the drug that has given the nickname magic bullet for aerobic gram-negative bacteria. So the example is aztreonam. Then aztreonam, unlike the majority of beta-lactam antibiotic, does not include beta-lactamase activity, and its molecular structure confers a high degree of resistance to hydrolysis by the beta-lactamases. So the beta-lactamases enzyme is produced by the bacteria to protect themselves from different antibiotics, but the main activity of aztreonam or main advantage or you can say important point about aztreonam is the structure or molecular structure confers the high degree of resistance to hydrolysis. Okay, there is a resistance to hydrolysis by beta lactamases due to the molecular structure of the beta lactam or monobactam or monocyclic beta lactam ring. So whatever enzymes that produced by the microorganisms, for example penicillinase, cephalosporinase, okay, these are the beta lactamase enzyme. So the aztreonam drug is stable in the beta lactamase enzyme. That beta lactamase enzyme produced by most of the gram negative and gram positive pathogens. It is therefore usually active against gram negative aerobic microorganisms that are resistant to antibiotics hydrolyzed by the beta lactamases. Then it is active against many strains that are multiply resistant to other antibiotics such as certain cephalosporins, penicillins and aminoglycosides. This is also the important point. Then aztreonam maintains its antimicrobial activity over a pH range of 6 to 8 in vitro as well as in the presence of human serum and under anaerobic conditions. It maintains its antimicrobial activity. If there is a pH 6, 7, 8, okay, in that pH range, they maintains the antimicrobial activity. This is an important point. Then the bactericidal action of the aztreonam. So while writing the mechanism of action for the aztreonam or any other monobactam, keep it in mind that the bactericidal action of aztreonam results from the inhibition of the bacterial cell wall synthesis. So while writing the mechanism of action, keep it in mind that it is a bactericidal drug. Completely kill the bacteria, okay, inhibits the bacterial cell wall synthesis. Okay, there is a formation of pores in the cell wall. Due to the formation of pores, unwanted particle can enter inside the cell. Okay, so they develop the toxicity inside the cell. The bacterial cell wall unable to maintain the homeostasis. Okay, so these are the different reasons by which there is a cell lysis takes place. Okay, and the main reason is due to the inhibition of cell wall synthesis. So faulty cell wall, there is a synthesis of faulty cell wall which cannot able to maintain the homeostasis. Okay, and drug having high affinity towards the penicillin binding protein. Okay, so by binding to the penicillin binding protein, aztreonam inhibit the bacterial cell wall synthesis and ultimately it leads to the cell lysis. Okay, and it kills the bacteria, hence it is the bactericidal antibiotic. Okay, there is a question whether it is, there will be question like whether it is bactericidal or bacteriostatic. So keep it in mind that aztreonam or monobactam antibiotics are the bactericidal in action. The next is taptoxin. So taptoxin is the monobactam phytotoxin dipeptide produced by the Pseudomonas syringae. It has a role as an bacterial metabolite and toxin. It is a monobactam, a dipeptide, a leuthreonine derivative and a secondary alcohol. Related to taptoxin, this much information is sufficient because as such compared to the aztreonam, taptoxin is not that much of important. So there will be question like what is the structure of, there will be question like what, write down, give the structure of taptoxin, okay, or taptoxin is a dash dash antibiotic. So keep it in mind that it is a monobactam antibiotic and it is a bacterial metabolite and a toxin. And this is the structure of taptoxin. So you can see it is a 2 in bracket 2 amino 4 in bracket 3 hydroxy 2 oxoazitidine. So there is a presence of azitidine ring. It is a 4-member ring containing 1 nitrogen and 3 carbon. So it is azitidine. To that azitidine ring there is a presence of hydroxy group at third position. So it is a 3 hydroxy. There is a presence of oxo group at second position. So it is a 2 oxo. So 3 hydroxy 2 oxoazitidine and a ring attached to the chain of the carbon that contains 4 carbon atom, okay, at third position. So it is a 3YL. So it contains 4 carbon atoms. So it is a butane. There is a presence of double bond O, that is a ketone functional group. So it is a butanoil. There is a presence of amino group. Okay, so butanoyl amino. Okay, then bracket complete. Next is 3-hydroxy butanoic acid. So you can see there is a presence of carbon containing chain, which is 4 carbon containing chain. So it is a butane. There is a presence of functional group, which is a COOH, which is a carboxy functional group. So it is a butanoic acid, and to that butanoic acid there is a presence of hydroxy functional group at third position. So it is a 3-hydroxy butanoic acid. So this is a structure and the nomenclature for taptoxin. Then next is nocardicin A. This is also the monobactam drug, which contains monocyclic beta-lactam ring, and it is a dicarboxylic acid. Okay, so keep it in mind, it contains 2 carboxylic acid functional groups, so it is a dicarboxylic acid, and it has a role as a bacterial metabolite. So let's see the structure of nocardicin. So this is the structure of nocardicin. You can see there is a presence of beta-lactam ring, which is a 4-member ring containing 1 nitrogen and 3 carbon. Okay, to that beta-lactam ring, which is a azitidine ring, there is a presence of oxo group at second position. So 2-oxo azitidine substitution takes place at third position. So 3YL. Okay, it attaches to the carbamoyl group. Okay, that is NHC double bond O. That carbamoyl group attached to the N-hydroxyl carbon imidoyl. Okay, that is C double bond NOH. So that hydroxy group attached to nitrogen. So it is a N-hydroxy carbon imidoyl. That complete structure attached to the phenyl ring, and that phenyl ring attached to the oxygen. So it is a phenoxy. Phenoxy bracket complete, and then it is a butanoic acid, which contains 4 carbon atom chain attached to the carboxylic acid functional group. So it is a butanoic acid. To that butanoic acid, mainly amino group is present. Okay, so this is a complete structure of nocardicin A. In that, keep it in mind that there is a presence of 2 carboxylic group, there is a presence of 1 beta lactam, 2 phenyl rings are present. Okay, then next is tigemonum. Tigemonum is a monobactam antibiotic with potent activity against gram-negative aerobic bacterial pathogens. Okay, mainly it is a beta-lactam antibiotic. Then along with beta-lactam ring, there is a presence of one more ring, and that ring is thiazole ring. You can see there is a 5-member ring containing 1 sulfur and 1 nitrogen. So thiazole ring. Okay, but it is not fused with the beta-lactam. So that beta-lactam ring is a single ring, which is a monocyclic beta-lactam ring. Hence it is, that drug comes under monobactams, and it is potent active against gram-negative aerobic bacterial pathogens. Okay, mainly against aerobic bacteria, and mainly in comparison with gram-positive and gram-negative, they are active against gram-negative pathogens. So this is a structure of tigemonum. So this is an important class, that is monobactam, which is a very simple. Okay, so just you have to give the structure of the drug under this class, then the chemistry of the monobactam antibiotic, their therapeutic use, that is indication, then their mechanism of action, which is similar to that of the penicillin and cephalosporin. Okay, so this is important point about the monobactam. So remaining part we'll see in next lecture. Thank you.